today we're going to be making a potato cannon, but it's going to be a modified potato cannon. It's going to have 2 barrels and it's going to shoot 2 balls out at really high speed. It's going to wrap people up like a net. It's going to be really cool. Let's go start cutting things up and welding things. Here's my ingredients. So, potato cannons work by normally sticking a potato down a barrel, and when you fire it, it has perfect chamber pressure and builds up and launches the projectile really far. Because we're going to be using a rope, we're going to be using this to tie people up. This tube happens to seal almost perfectly with this bouncy ball. So we'll figure out a way to get this rope into the center of the bouncy ball. We're going to make it so it shoots them off in 2 directions. Firstly, we got some tubes. We're going to be using these to fire our projectiles out of. We have our 2 bouncy balls, some rope, ignition method, a hot glue gun. Also have this. This here is going to be our combustion chamber. And then finally, we need a way to actually ignite this thing. Same source of fuel that is going to be used for this, we're going to put in here. These, we'll be welding these onto the barrel and we'll be able to use them to refill our combustion chambers. We got some bright orange paint. Let's start building this stupid thing. This is going to be our combustion chamber. This is 143. We're going to go straight smack bang in the middle at 71 and a half. We're going to cut it and then we're going to trim it together and weld it. If you do this, make sure you're wearing your eye protection. You don't want to get metal in your eyes. Now we're going to make them converge. These are the caps, by the way. They've got to seal the chambers. Back to cutting holes. Look at the angle we got going in here. That's going to be good to trap people in close range. I did that because I live in a country where there's really bad spiders. It's day 2. I took a 4-inch hole saw and I cut these 2 flat plates. We've got our 2 chambers like this little piece here. See how they're cut on angles? And see how that's cut on an angle? We're going to weld them flat to that. And I've got this piece in there, so we're going to start with this, we'll tack it up, and then we'll get it ready for the full weld. Look at that. Now we're going to make our ignition method. We're going to need to light both of these at the same time. This is why we have this manifold type thing here. We're going to weld this one here and we're going to light it from the front. We have just a little support I've just put in here just so it's not so flimsy. I should probably use gloves for the next one, it's kind of roasting my hand. We have our rechargeable ignition barrel. So now we're going to go through and make it so that we can actually recharge these. Very simply, I've got these. All I need to do is weld these onto the bottoms of each of the chambers, so then we can refill them. Firstly, I'm going to drill 2 holes in here so it actually lets the fuel get into the chamber. This is going to be our 2 barrels. This thing is about 85. Yeah, 42 and a half. That's pretty good. So now we're going to cut these 2 tubes in half. The reason why I've done this is because I need some form of reducer to go from the big pipe to this little pipe. So I've done that and I'm going to bend all those pieces out, weld this over the top of all of it. That looks pretty good. What a stupid creation. Now we've built our spud cannon net launcher thing. Very heavy. I'm very surprised about the weight. I've got this. This is our ignition source. This is a little sparker. It worked. It worked. What we're going to do is that I'm going to attach a rope to these two off of camera. I'm going to figure out the length of what I want, and then we are going to give it a paint job, and the next time you see it, we're actually going to test fire it. I have my new method of attaching my rope to my projectiles. Now, a little bit of maths going on here. Each of these chambers is about 5 liters each in volume inside. Using propane to power our cannon. Propane has a maximum power air fuel ratio of about 23:1. We run this for 1.5 seconds approximately. We're going to get pretty close to that ratio, which means we can achieve the most power that we want to achieve. 1 Mississippi. It's gonna work. Let's go test it on some live targets. Now right here, I have my assistant. His name is Sam, and is my younger brother. He's about 10 years younger than me. So we're gonna see how far it goes, and he can go fetch the balls for me. Run. Okay, so it's not firing. Probably got way too much fuel in it, so we're gonna try and figure out a way to get rid of a lot of the fuel. Yeah, oh yeah, by the way, the camera died, and we're now going back to iPhone cameras. We're getting somewhere. Well, that worked, didn't it? Definitely think we're running into air fuel ratio issues, and I'm putting way too much fuel in it. Our two balls have started to shred apart. We're going to try and get it to work a bit more consistently. Holy moly. Well, that had a lot of power, didn't it? Go get them. If you ever build one of these for yourself, just make sure you're really thinking about the amount of air and fuel you got in there. All right, we're gonna have one more attempt at firing this thing. We've loaded it and given it even less fuel this time, so let's see how it goes. Well, that's getting really powerful, isn't it? This is gonna be the end of the video with this thing. I might hack it up, and later on we're going to end up doing a really powerful single barrel potato cannon, shooting actual potatoes and trying to see what we can break. I don't know. See you next time.